So it's just like I thought it was. Boogiepop is going to be showing us the ending first, and then it's going to be showing us the events that lead up to that ending. It's a very interesting watch. And I do wonder if there will be more arcs like this. Like, going forward, if the remainder of Boogiepop will be in a very similar setup. For instance, showing us the conclusion or the main answer, and then giving us the build-up to that throughout the upcoming episodes after it. I do wonder if that's how this series will be structured because of the way this episode was presented, because there was a very clear message. I had to rewatch the episode a second time just to get the full message here, but it's a very, very good message, and I think Boogiepop definitely deserves a lot of praise just for the way it delivered this message. So, let's get into it. The first episode, Boogiepop presents a very interesting question. She says, why is everyone ignoring echoes? Why is nobody paying attention to this man crying? Why does nobody stop and try to help him out? Why is nobody doing? You see a bunch of people in the first episode just pass him on by, letting the man cry by himself as he's lonely trying to figure out what he can do to stop the Manticore. And that was the main thing. Basically, humanity was just averting their eyes, not giving a crap about what was happening beside them because it's not their business. It's not their job to intervene or get in a part of it. That's what many were probably thinking, and what Boogiepop was basically trying to say. And with the third episode, we get another answer. It's showing that a group of normal kids, these kids that honestly are nothing special. They're not crazy. They're not powerful shonen MCs that have magical powers, weapons, or anything. They don't even really have gifted minds like, what Promised Neverland has. The group of kids that put a stop to the Manticore in this episode and even saved humanity itself was just a bunch of kids that were very normal. Like, normal reactions and everything. And I think that's the beauty of this episode, or the beauty of Boogiepop, is that Boogiepop orchestrated this entire fight. Like, she could have went in and easily have ended the Manticore like that. But I think the real reason what she was trying to do here was save humanity as a whole. Like, in the first episode, it seemed like she didn't really save humanity. Remember, the main male character, he asked, like, why are you leaving? There's so much humanity needs to do and all that. We need help or whatever. And Boogiepop left. Well, we didn't really know at the time, but Boogiepop was probably the reason to why Echoes even made that decision in the first place and saved all of them. Yes, all the kids were a part of it, the normal kids and stuff, but it was thanks to Boogiepop behind the scenes really setting things up that allowed Echoes to get such a good impression to be able to save humanity in the first place. So, it's a cool thing, or a cool way to look at this series, because the way it went about it, and showing that these kids, they didn't avert their eyes, they didn't, decide to run away and not help Echoes, and actually wanted to help them, it proved that humanity is worth saving. That, when a bunch of people come together and try to help out, good things can be done. Change can be made. Even if you aren't anything special or anything crazy or strong or smart, when a group of people come together, they can achieve insane things. And that's how humanity is as a whole. Even if us as a single individual, we might, let's say you're gifted with an insane intelligence, Einstein level of intelligence, even if you're that intelligent, there's only so much you can do by yourself. And if you have a group of people around you, or an organization, whatever, you can do insane things. And I think that was the main, message here. That we are strong together and we shouldn't be selfish and try to be lonely or by ourselves and throw people away. We need to work together, and that's kind of what took down the Manticore in the end. And it's interesting that it was kind of the same message for the Manticore and her group, and what happened with the dude that was kind of the villain. Let's get into that. So basically, as we know, the Manticore, she was always alone. It was stated in the second episode when we really got introduced to her character. Nobody really cared for her. She was lonely, and she was just created by these scientists or whatever. That really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. What does matter is that she was lonely, and she didn't have anyone. And this dude pops up and is like, hey, I care for you. And it seemed like he had a thing for her, and, he was helping her out. She finally wasn't lonely. She wasn't traveling in life by herself. She had some individual, even though he was twisted and he wasn't a good dude, he still, in some ways, accepted her. And that was something that made her very happy. It's kind of what the main message was for Echoes. Echoes was accepted and helped, and which was why he saved humanity. And so, in a way, the dude that was the villain, he could have went about it differently trying to help her out, but in the end, he was kind of being a good dude towards her. His morals were messed up, but he was trying to help her out in any way he possibly could for she didn't feel all isolated or lonely. And so that final sacrifice from him is very interesting because it makes you question about his character. There's just so many things I question, because from my first impressions of him in the second episode, he was someone that seemed like he was using the Manticore. Like he was going out of his way using her to gain power and get up there in society. But after this episode, I really don't think that was the case. Maybe at the start it was, but I don't think it was. Now that I look at it, it seemed like he truly did care about the Manticore. He was able to let go of the girl he once had a crush for and, confirm his feelings for the Manticore. And when, he killed the girl he loved, or tried to, he realized what type of bloodlust he had, what he wanted. For instance, he was actually getting into the vibe of ending people. He liked the feeling of it, which he was starting to turn into a really interesting character. And I was sad that he died so easily, because he could have been incredible if, he was kept in the series longer, but sadly he wasn't. He was, brought down in this episode by alien Data. Yeah, but to get to the point, though, he sacrificed himself. He jumped in front of this Data and pushed the Manticore out of the way, and he died. Now, this speaks volumes about his character. We already know that he kind of wanted to end it all for himself, but he didn't, and he decided to keep around because he liked the feeling of killing, but he also wanted to be there for the Manticore. But then he threw the Manticore aside and he died for her. It shows that he didn't really care much for his life. He didn't care at all about his life, how he felt about himself, but he did care about the Manticore. He had these certain things he cared about that he tried to protect, but overall, when it came to himself, he didn't care, and he would easily just throw himself away. And that's what technically happened. So, Boogiepop, it's quite a watch. It's definitely different from what I expected. It's not at all what I thought it was going to be. Like, before I started episode 1, it's so different. It's so unique. It's a very mysterious series. And I do hope that the upcoming episodes, for instance, episode 4 and onward, will be very similar in structure to these first 3 episodes. I hope many arcs going forward is just like this, presenting the ending and then giving us the build-up. I really hope that is done because it's such a fun series. Also, can we take a moment just to look at these facial expressions in this episode? Like, the Manticore's reaction to the events that happened to the person she admired / loved. Like, holy crap. Like, the face of realization, or just of shock, and then sadness and grief, and then just anger and rage. I love the change in emotions in her face when she realizes the only person in the world that's ever cared about her was gone in a split second. It's incredible. I don't know. I mean, I feel like at the end of the day, this series does have a very simplistic art style. It does have this mysterious tone to it, but there's just something so refreshing seeing so many emotions in a character's face in such a short little time frame, because these events literally happen in under a minute, just seeing these expressions with the Manticore's face. Now, one last thing to get into before I wrap up this video. I wonder if Echoes is going to be relevant ever again. Like, I think Echoes might be permanently gone, but I wonder if we'll have any more contact with the aliens, or if we'll have any more contact with the scientists that created the Manticore. I wonder if that is the end of it, or if we will see them again and they'll be relevant in the future, because as we know, Boogiepop, the reason why Boogiepop pops up is basically when there is a problem with humanity. Humanity technically needs saving, or this, powerful creature, which was the Manticore. So I do wonder if we'll see any more of the scientists or whatever that created the Manticore or the aliens. I do hope so, because there's a lot of interesting ways the story could go if it goes down that path. But I think I want to wrap this video up here. It's a good episode. I'm definitely going to continue watching it. I want to see more because it's a great series, and I think many can agree with me that this is definitely a dark horse of this anime season for Winter of Anime 2019. And so with that, I love you guys. You have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe. If you like this video, please leave a like. And if you want to get notified for whenever I upload a video, please click the bell icon down below, because for some reason, even if you click the subscribe button, you don't always get notified for whenever a video is uploaded. So if you want to get notified, click that bell icon down below. And this goes for all YouTubers out there, not just myself, but all YouTubers on the platform, because for some reason you have to double subscribe now just to be notified. And so even if you don't care about me and you don't want to subscribe or you hit the bell icon for me, at least do it for the YouTubers you care about, because it does help us out a lot. And so I love you guys. Have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.